What do Army Jeeps, H1 Hummers, DeLoreans, Fast and Furious cars, 60s Mustang fastbacks, 1950s Cadillac ambulance, and Ford Falcons all have in common with a Crown Victoria? Well, sit tight, boys and girls, because today we're going to look into why so many people are obsessed with buying, restoring, and decking out old cop cars. And also with myself being a habitual old cop car buyer myself, you guys will get an inside scoop into the mind of what some of you might consider a quote-unquote whacker. When in reality, we're all just another subsection of car enthusiasts like everyone else in car culture. Now, for those of you who want the too long didn't watch version of this video, okay, why do people buy old cop cars and make them look like cop cars? Well, the same reason people buy old H1 Hummers and make them look like Operation Iraqi frickin' Freedom Humvees, or turn a stock DeLorean into a time machine. It's called making a replica, a clone. And the same applies to bringing back an old outdated cop car to its former glory days. There is, however, a dangerous side to this hobby, and that's something I'll be covering as well in this video. So, to cover the first question of why people buy up used cop cars, it's actually pretty simple. They're cheap, although that is slowly becoming a thing of the past, I'm not gonna lie. They're reliable, but wait a minute. Some of you are probably saying, hey, don't cops abuse the hell out of their squad cars? Actually, no. No, they don't. And that's all thanks to a little device known as an OBD2 telemetrics reader. And pair that with a constant GPS location and speed monitoring. Literally, every cop's move related to their vehicle is recorded and stored in a database. I'm not just talking speed here. I'm talking braking pressure, steering wheel tilt, sudden acceleration monitors. The telemetrics are so sophisticated, they can tell a department whether or not an officer had his freaking windshield wipers turned on during a rainstorm, okay? So that myth that police cars are used and abused is a complete load of donkey doo-doo. Police departments spend thousands and thousands making sure that their officers' patrol cars receive the best maintenance that money can buy. Well, that you can buy because we're taxpayers and we're technically paying for it. But yeah, they be dependable. Now, besides being reliable, the best selling point of a retired cop car is safety. Car manufacturers spare no expense when it comes to patrol car safety. This actually means that retired cop cars come with a plethora of extra safety features that not even their regular civilian counterparts have. I'm talking about fully braced and reinforced rear bumpers and trunk areas that are capable of withstanding a direct rear end impact of speeds up to 75 miles per hour. That added safety isn't just limited to new cop cars either. Hell, even the old Crown Vics were the first sedans built by Ford to receive 5-star crash test safety ratings in every single category. All right, you guys catching on here? So, just looking at it from a normal person's perspective, and by normal I mean a non-car enthusiast, you start to see what makes buying an old cop car so appealing. It's affordable, dependable, and safe. In a herd of sheep, police cars are the sheepdogs. They are the literal peak of an automobile. And anyone who's ever ridden one or owned one knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've all heard that quote from Spider-Man that with great power comes great responsibility. Well, nobody moves out of the way for a replica DeLorean. Nobody pulls over for a replica H1 Army Hummer. No, hell, nobody's ever given the right of way, and nobody's ever slowed down for a replica Fast and Furious Supra or Skyline. But you know what cars do make drivers do all of the above? Yep, police car replicas. And this is where things take a dangerous turn, where the lines are blurred between enthusiast weekend car show replicas and full-blown police impersonation. Speaking of impersonation, this brings me to my next topic, and that is Whackerism. A quote-unquote whacker, as it's commonly called in the retired cop car owners community, is essentially a police wannabe who could never make it onto the police force, so they live out their dreams of being law enforcement by completely decking out their retired cop cars with lights and sirens, only to wreak havoc and intimidate and impose their will on unsuspecting drivers. Now, sure, whackers are a real thing, but the whacker disease can infect anyone. There's literally hundreds of examples of regular, non-enforcement wannabe people who buy up old cop cars and are overcome with a sudden urge to use the spotlights, sirens, and speakers to prank their friends or mess around with people in traffic. Come on, man. At least once in your life, you've revved at a car meet. At least once, you tried doing donuts or drift around a street light. There's no way that you could own a former cop car and not at least once thought of pushing that red shiny button or scaring the hell out of your friends. Now, not every Honda owner is an obnoxious 18-year-old. Not every Subaru owner vapes and wears a backwards cap. And not every Mustang owner crashes into crowds of people. Just like not every retired cop car owner is a police impersonator. And just like with any iconic car, retired cop cars have a place in the car community. And boy, what a community it is. You'll never be in a more humble, smart, caring, funny, and supportive group of people in your life. And I'm talking from experience. The cop car community is a tight-knit one, man. Whether it's securing rare and hard to find parts for your car or anything else that you just might need. Now, as for me, why does my Crown Vic look this way? Why am I constantly outfitting it with more old police equipment, lights, push bars, etc.? Let me put it this way. A DeLorean without a flux capacitor is just a slow piece of sheet metal. An old H1 Hummer without a fake 50 cal gunner on top, painted any other color than desert tan. Let's face it, it's just an overrated, underpowered Chevy Suburban. A Ford Falcon without a giant blower, massive tires, and side exhausts is just an overweight Mustang. And a Crown Victoria without antennas, lights, sirens, and push bar is just an old grandpa's car. You see, a police interceptor isn't just a gimmick or a cool, fancy name given to a regular car. It's a literal badge of honor. It's a clear distinction between a regular car and something special. And until you ever drive one or own one for yourself, please, just try not to judge us too much. Thank you for watching.